All right, a very good day or other time appropriate greetings to you folks. Welcome to Speed Gaming 5. We bring you today the Metroid Prime 2 Echoes Randomizer Community Weekly Race. We've got even settings for you, and it's going to be a good one. We've got Nye and Macier on stream today showing their skills. I'm Captain ND, and today I'm joined in the booth by our wonderful, almost always around set of volunteers these days. Marion Law 71 on comms and Op82 on tracking. How you doing today, Marion?
I'm doing very well, Captain. I can't complain. You got a beautiful Easter weekend coming up, and what a better way to spend it with your family and friends here over at Speed Gaming with some beautiful Metroid Randomizer.
Absolutely. We've just given the green light for the racers in the race time. We do apologize. We had a bit of a technical difficulty getting started up here, but we are ready to go. Now, even settings means we've got no random elevators, main energy controller start, although I think in due time we're going to be switching that over to landing site. We've been kind of discussing new weekly changes with some recent Randomizer updates, but we just haven't gone around to implementing them to Echoes yet.
It sounds like a fair option. When you do transfer to landing site, you have a bit more movement options compared to your Great Temple start. For example, you get your... probably take a peek at Communication Center if it's a major item, and obviously your Temple Assembly site if that's got anything good hiding on it.
Indeed. The other thing is we're also going to have those Hive transport area gates set to default set to down. I think the same would be applied for industrial sites, so that way you have more than you're not blowing through the Hive chambers doing absolutely nothing for 5 minutes, and B, you have a few more options than just GFMC. I'm not sure if the missile waiting bug that forces power bombs to GFMC on a landing site start is helpful, but is resolved rather. But this is sort of what we could do to generate some insurance to prevent that.
I'd rather be safe than sorry in the end. Well, it looked like we have a great start already. A Violet Translator hiding on UMOS 1. Well, that gives them access to at least one gate, hopefully.
At least one gate and a Joe Kent. So apparently by literally less than a minute into your run, you should have already consumed 200 milliliters of water.
That seems a little quick and excessive, don't you think?
I know, right? Unless it's the amount of water a Morbus drinks before a speed run.
Well, seeing how quick that guy can move around so frequently, I mean, I wouldn't blame it.
But some changes. We are currently running on Randomizer 5.6, which one of the bullets in the patch notes did mention added proper combat requirements for a Morbus. So the way I read that is we're probably, if a Morbus is required, we're probably not going to be fighting it without light beam secret missiles or super missiles in some way, because those just make a Morbus a little more relaxing. But at the same time, this is my seeds we're talking about, so...
Unfortunately, some of the seeds you've generated in the past, Captain, haven't been so kind to our runners.
Yeah, we were not around last week because we essentially did a, something I tried to cook up, but Randomizer was kind of making a meal out of it, was we did a little April Fool's Day thing where it looked like it was going to be some crazy random one-way elevators to anywhere scene, but the elevator to the credits was relatively short in.
Well, you gave it a shot. That's what can be asked for, as long as you try your best. And look at that, early power bombs hiding under the Alpha Splinter.
It's even weekly, it's not even a landing site start, and main power bombs are still found in the first 3 minutes.
And along with that, looks like we have Transport B access hiding a Spider Ball.
Ooh, relatively early Spider Ball today. Definitely want to see that. Spider Ball is one of those powers that it doesn't do anything for speed, but boy, does it unlock stuff.
Now, in the matter of unlocking stuff, we see both runners entering Temple Assembly site. Let's see if we can get a good peek hiding on the cliffside.
I am honestly not sure.
No, I couldn't tell from the angle, but...
Looks like neither... Oh, never mind. Nai's going to attempt an extended dash for it. Gets it first try.
All right, here we go. Nice work. Miser, on the other hand, is going to be skipping it, making his way through Dynamo and heading towards Communications.
All right, it's an energy tank. Not unwelcome. We get a sonic boom in Dynamo Chamber. Now the nice thing about main power bombs is, and I'm very glad to see runners defaulting to this lately, is that usually when main power bombs or bombs come first, it's almost always a good practice to check comm area because 99 times out of 100 it's progression.
I'll consider that another addition to that 99%. Missile expansion gets them early missiles. That lets them
Indeed.
get out. Let's see, gets them out of GFMC compound, and they get that storage cache. Was it A or B hiding just off a temple assembly?
Storage cavern B.
Cavern B, that's what it is.
Yeah, A is light ink reliquary.
Ah. Well, can't complain about those two.
And we are going to straight for GFMC. That is an extended dash I have never seen before.
Well, hey, if it gives you your screw attack that quickly, I mean, I'll take it.
Yeah, perfectly in logic NSJ screw attack, which that actually does a few things for you nice and early here. Mainly revolving around the Z-axis. That does actually let you get out of Aegon Temple without bombs, space jump, or boost ball.
Now, for those runners who, not runners, for those people out there who might be new to speed gaming or Metroid Prime in general, you want to give us a brief rundown on what the Z-axis does for our runners here with no space jump?
Surely. So, with respect to screw attack mechanics, how screw attack normally works is that it sets your maximum screw attack height to the height of your space jump when you fire off your double jump. However, without that, it defaults to the 0 point on the Z-axis, which in Aegon Temple specifically just so happens to be right at the top of where you can jump to with an NSJ in the arena for Aegon Temple.
Interesting. So it's going to give our runners a little bit more height and a little bit more movement options, comparatively speaking.
Yes, and unfortunately, as Mace here has just discovered, NSJ screw attack does not break the transport A access rubble down. You do need to use power bombs, space jump screw attack specifically, boost ball, or interestingly, super missiles.
Well, I don't think anyone out there would be wise enough to use a super missile on that rubble, except if that's your only option, then by all
Indeed.
means. I'm seeing in our chat here asking about our hints. Well, Mr. Kirby fan, we only have one hint so far, and it was trying to remind us to stay hydrated.
Still good advice, though.
Oh, always.
Now, unfortunately, screw attack doesn't really get us a whole lot right this minute in Great Temple. We're going to have to come back for Spider Ball later, although I am aware there is a NSJ screw attack, and I think it's an NSJ screw attack into tunnel that you could do, but neither of these runners appear to be interested in attempting that. Now, a bit of an out-of-logic check here, but we can check Storage Cavern B, and it does give us some light ammo. Not unwelcome, but not what we're looking for.
Granted, when we find our light beam, it'll be helpful to have that extra 50 shots, though.
Indeed. Now, that being said, we'll see if our runners choose to detour to Hive Chamber B very quickly before proceeding to Aegon, and it looks like Macier is going to make that call. Although, actually, this is technically out of logic without proper missile launcher. I still like the play to check Hive Chamber B, because the main thing you definitely want to find before stepping into Aegon at any point is Amber Translator.
I completely agree. Get all your hints in one go. If it's vanilla translator gates, clear out a sand cache all in one visit. But it looks like Hive Chamber B is going to hide our Emerald Translator.
All right. Again, not unwelcome, but not currently anything we can do with that. Although, if we had picked that up before going to GFMC, we could have checked the Fortress Transport Access hint. And I doubt either of our runners are going to make that detour now.
No, not this early. We don't have Spider Ball. We don't have any real movement options to get into Sanctuary. And we're nowhere near that side of the map anyway. It wouldn't be the smartest play.
Nice thing about this door, it puts you on the other side of the cargo container.
Looks like a beam-related upgrade off of that hint, though.
Ah, yes, a cursed lake, the bane of Last Echoes Weekly. Or Last Even Weekly.
Well, I wasn't here for last weekly, but I'm sure it was a good one.
It had a Sky Temple key, and Secret Missiles were my go mode item, effectively.
Oh, that sounds rough, but it did look like Screw Attack could be found. Well, we found a hint for Screw Attack, and Mazer did pick up his Amber Translator off of the elevator.
Indeed, so everybody's gonna be pretty much in exactly where they want to be for their Aegon dive, except for the fact that we now have to do NSJ Screw Attack Mining Plaza. Have fun, that's perfectly in logic in this difficulty.
Captain, you are one evil man when generating seeds.
I saw what looked like either a movement system or boost ball in Mining Plaza.
I still stand by the fact that you are very evil when it comes to these seeds, my friend.
Oh, I don't deny that.
I'm gonna get confirmation from Nail off that second hint. Screw Attack is our Jump Guardian item in Compound. Oh, no,
Well,
it's not. It's a crate.
I was about to say, yeah,
No,
they
it's
have
not.
it already. All right, so we found the, so we know the Temple Grounds and Aegon Wastes have the other two Aegon keys, since we found the one in Great Temple already, and we have not found either of those other two Aegon keys yet. Yeah, that
don't work.
That looks important. Yeah, that looks important in Mining Plaza. I can't tell what it is. Mining Station A, that might have been Dark Beam. It's either Dark Beam or a Dark Ammo Tank. Which, if it is Dark Beam, we're only looking for bombs minimum. That would be enough to get it.
Well, we found our hint for the Temple keys, though. It looked like one was in Temple Grounds, and we didn't catch the first half of that hint, though.
Aegon and Great Temple are the other two. And we've seen the Great Temple one already in Transport A Access, which was put in logic by Emerald Translator. All right, we're going to have a look at Portal Access A, which is our first Borger of the day.
Burgers are always very filling. Could always use more power bombs. Now, since we do have Amber Translator, Sand Cache is open to us. Now, does that have anything important? Well, we're about to find out.
Given the way this seat's been playing out, I wouldn't be surprised, but we do see that Umos 2 is dead today.
Speaking about important items, space jump off a Sand Cache gets us access right into Pirate Labs.
All right, looks like movement is not going to be an issue today. We have early space jump Screw Attack. Unfortunately, that does put Mining Plaza as a very likely required at the rate we're going. But yeah, for the moment, both runners kind of following the same path here. They both went to make that Hive Chamber B detour, so they should be. They're going to be pretty evenly matched coming in here to Bomb Guardian. Yeah, the way things are going though, if that was a progression item in Mining Plaza, its Space Jump couldn't have been in. Space Jump could not have been behind. Well, actually, Space Jump could still have been behind Echo Visor.
Well, looks like our Bomb Guardian was very generous to us today. A super missile hiding off of him.
Super missiles before missile launcher. Stop me if you've heard that one before.
I will stop you. I have heard it before.
But yeah, super missiles is very nice to have, especially going into your first pass through Dark Aegon, because that does give you access to Battleground and Warrior's Walk. Although that being said, we don't have bombs, so we actually currently can't do anything with that. However, let me think this through for a minute. We are just a light beam away from being able to access the Torvis Quadrant. And with Space Jump Screw Attack, and main power bombs, we have access to Wind Chamber Gate, which actually I think is our only option for progression right now. So, time to start backtracking.
Oh, we're only 15 minutes in, Captain. You're telling me they got to backtrack all the way through compound towards Wind Chamber Gateway?
Welcome to Randomizer. Although, if you want to see double dipping and excessive backtracking, look no further than Paper Mario Randomizer.
Oh, don't know. I don't want to get started on that. I can barely do the original Paper Mario as it is. Don't randomize it on me.
Fair enough. Oh, we also have Hive Chamber. Well, actually, Hive Chamber A is still not in logic either, because that's technically missile launcher locked. But either way, it doesn't make sense to pass this up while you're here, so Macier is going to grab it. Yeah, they also know that the beam-related upgrade in a Cursed Lake can't be... It can only be Dark Beam. Or it could be Dark or Annihilator, but it can't be Light.
You were mentioned earlier about you're missing that Dark Aegon key. I believe your friendly missile trooper was hiding it.
Indeed. So that means the last Aegon key is somewhere in Aegon. So given what we're looking at, I'm going to honestly point fingers at it being in labs.
I strongly agree. We don't have our Dark or Light Beam yet, so we can't check Sand Canyon. That wouldn't be in logic. And the entire Mining Station B subsection is completely off limits.
Right, and in a couple of versions ago, Space Jump Screw Attack was enough to check, made enough to check Central Mining Station, so there is actually a fairly high chance that's our next stop. After we find Missile Launcher, which chances are that's probably chilling in Wind Chamber Gateway right now. Because otherwise, without a beam, we're actually pretty isolated.
Well, I do see a few comments trying to guess where our upgrade lies. We do have one about it being on Aegon Energy Controller.
We could have it on Aegon Energy Controller, but we do just need to grab some bombs first before we can head over there.
Oh, you mean we can't just out of bounds it?
I mean, we could. It is allowed, but
it wouldn't be the smartest play.
Nah, that'd be a long out of bounds for one check. Especially when bombs have been late on occasion, but I don't think they're going to be late this seed. If a Morbus is required for a movement system or a boost ball, bombs have to show up soon. But it looks like Nye's going to make a quick detour for that spider ball real quick.
Meanwhile, Mazer finding out his Ring Reliquary has a missile-related upgrade.
All right, and that is definitely dead. That can't be Seeker missiles. All right, Naya's having a little bit of trouble here with this one.
He'll get it. Give him time. I think he's a little too far to the back. Oh, there he goes.
We'll see if Macier decides to make that quick detour to Fortress Transport access to read the hint. Definitely not a bad idea, considering it's more likely to be a progression hint at this point. Unless, of course, it's hinting Emerald Translator, in which case, thanks, game.
Hey, like you said earlier, it's Randomizer. Oh, that's a bad sight. You never want to see a Sky Temple key on Grand Wind Chamber.
You don't, but here's the thing. With this equipment, our runners could get that right now.
That's fair. There is a standable trick with the screw attack to allow them early access.
And there's our bombs in Wind Chamber Gate, just as predicted. So, bombs without missile launcher, what does that give us? That gives us Spider Ball, which... yeah, I think it might actually be Dark Beam in Mining Station A. That might be our next stop.
Grant, we also have access to Aegon Energy, and we have our little Amber Hint hiding up there. So that could have some useful information for us.
Indeed, but it looks like Macier is not interested in picking up the Sky Temple key for now, and we'll just press on. Which isn't a bad idea. Wind Chamber Gate is pretty easy to come back to later after picking up Light Beam, although actually... with super missiles and bombs in tow, we have an alternative way to the meeting grounds area via landing site.
Well, that's completely true. We do have access to that Torvus area.
Now, that being said, the only thing that would do for us right this minute is give us... You could check Torvus Lagoon with air underwater, but that's, again, very far out of the way for one check and not a particularly good use of time at the moment. I did notice Knight did bring down the Emerald Door in front of Fortress Transport Access, so it looks like he's going to make a quick pit stop to check that later, but Mace here will go ahead and make a quick detour for this energy tank here in Temple Assembly Site. Has done quite well without it at this point. But we will see if Naya elects to make this detour for, and elects to not make this detour, but to stay put here for a second and grab the Wind Chamber Gate key. And let's see, he did take out the Flying Pirates, which leads me to suspect that he's not interested in having them pester him for this trick. And yeah, we are going to see it here. So this is a... I have to thank Jagger G for training me on this one. So this is a precise screw attack to get to the ledge up here without falling. There is enough collision to stand on it. However, if you go too far to the left, you soft lock.
Well, that doesn't sound fun at all. It seems like it's very risky, but it's a high risk, high reward in this case.
Yeah, certainly not having to do the obnoxious Secret Missile Grapple Beam Boost Ball puzzle that you would normally have to do. Looks like Knight's just going to improvise and do the multi-BSJ. Got bombs, why not?
Hey, rather be safe than sorry, or especially when you're in a race. Meanwhile, we see Mazer making his way through Aegon. Again, he's going to head towards Portal Chamber.
Yeah, this logically does seem like the better play, because with bombs and super missiles, you can get pretty much everything, and I assume that it must not be, although Macier hasn't gone back for Spider Ball, so maybe it's just a dark ammo tank in, what's it's called, Mining Station A. But here's our Fortress Transport Access hint, and this one reads... The Emerald Translator is exactly 4 rooms away from Hive Chamber A. Thanks, game. I don't call this on purpose. And meanwhile, the Morph Ball Bomb can be found up to 3 rooms away from Grand Wind Chamber. Really, game?
Captain,
Not helping.
Did you print out the spoil log and you're just going off the script based off of this, or what are you doing here?
Nope. This is just my 2023 in a nutshell, folks.
I don't know, my friend. The chat suspects you of using a script. You sure you're not using that?
It's an occupational hazard.
I think that's what we like to call the commentator's curse. Well, as you said, you're going through Dark Aegon. Sounds like a proper play. You've got multiple checks here. Unfortunately, we don't have our Dark Beam for Incash 4, as that's a extremely out of the way check to come back to.
Unfortunately, and more often than not, it actually does have progression if it's required in the mid-game. What is that up there? Beam ammo tank, I think? Yeah, probably beam ammo tank. Although we do have the super pickups, the multiplayer pickups enabled as well.
So we could see some unlimited ammo, some double damage swinging.
Yeah, I think right now the one our runners would most definitely want is double damage, since they don't have a beam for unlimited beam ammo. Although unlimited missiles wouldn't go amiss either with supers in tow.
Well, certainly make sure you have your missile count up to check. You're not worried about trying to find a drop here and there.
All right, now we know that the 3rd Aegon key isn't here, which actually, oh, Nye has to stop for a moment. Okay, just for a moment.
So,
hey.
Remember what I was saying about Incash 4 being out of the way? I don't think that's going to be a problem with Dark Beam hiding on Trial Tunnel.
Indeed, very lucky find there for Macier. Definitely a good choice to go to Trial Tunnel first, although I'm thinking about this for a second. It might have not been a bad idea to check labs first, since there is a good chance that labs and Aegon Temple have our Aegon Energy Controller rather have our last Amorbis key. So that being said, literally the only heavy weapon we have against Amorbis is super missiles, which we don't even have missile launcher to put it in logic in the first place, and we don't even have a missile expansion to give us priority drops. Now, granted, Amorbis I think runs on a different drop system entirely, so.
Oh, we got another question from chat. You remember what was hiding off of Mining Plaza by any chance, Captain?
Mining Plaza?
Plaza.
Mining Plaza was either a movement system or boost ball based on coloring. I couldn't get a more detailed look at the model on the playback, but it was definitely something that looked important. Now, that being said, it could just be Cannonball and we all could be just laughing a little bit. Now, that being said, Cannonball with Screw Attack in tow would do our runners a lot of favors.
Well, you know, speaking of favors, it's so kind of Jump Guardian to just hand over his item to us.
Indeed. You don't get that many kind souls on Dark Aether.
Oh no, you just walk into his room, he hands it right to you and walks away.
Interesting that, oh, Macy was just grabbing the door. Unfortunately, that door doesn't have a proxy detector for hitting it, so you have to hit the door head on, which is very hard to do from down there.
And it looks like his shot might have just missed a little high. But the second time's a charm.
All right, and I think, yeah, Macier wants to go check in cache 4, and yeah, Macier will check Warrior's Walk last, because right now, no extra super missile to, never mind, there's Launcher. Wow, Launcher behind Spider Ball, rude.
You
So
don't see that
that's
too often.
So that would include being behind that obnoxious chain for bombs that we just witnessed. I imagine Macier's going to go back for that to get priority drops and the extra missile tank needed to fire the super for Battleground. Because the Inglet in Warrior's Walk is not enough to generate the second enemy kill required to, in most rooms, trigger a drop.
Meanwhile, we have Nye making his way towards Trial Tunnel. He's about to find his Dark Beam. And give him more progression towards Zinc Cache 4, gets him a few more energy tanks, and gets him back on the road to success.
Indeed, and it looks like Macier elected to not grab the missile tank here, and it's just gonna straight dash for Battleground. That is a visor upgrade of some kind. It is Cobalt Translator. All right, Battleground with super missiles and power bombs. Honestly, the power bombs make this not so bad. It could be a lot worse. Alternatively, you can improvise with Screw Attack. Today I learned.
Well, it's always a good thing to at least try to learn one new thing each and every day.
Now, I didn't get the best look of what was in Warrior's Walk, but I don't see our runners making a pit stop for it, so I think it might have just been a dark ammo tank or something. Unfortunately, Nye is discovering the hard way that, yeah, getting an extra missile drop in at 5 missiles is easier said than done.
Well, he's doing his best, Captain. But unfortunately, as Miser did skip his Spider Ball, he's unable to pick up his launcher. So we're probably going to have to make a detour back to Dark Aegon in the near future.
Right. That's why he couldn't stop for Spider Ball, or for missile launcher.
Right, he peeked at the item, but I don't believe he ever decided to go up and grab it.
I'm pretty sure that is going to be weighing on him now, because Spider Ball is looking like it's going to play a pretty important role soon, either in finding that last Aegon key or something else.
Well, I'd like to thank Chad for pointing out all these things. Yeah, they are really on top of everything today.
Indeed. And finally, at 28 minutes, we have 10 missiles, courtesy of an expansion in, good grief, Transport Center.
Speaking of on top of things, I think we should give a shout out to our wonderful tracker, Op82. Watching 2 games at the same time, keeping amazing track of everything from the looks of it.
Indeed. All right, so Knight's going to try again here at, yeah, that's the Dark Tank down there. Knight's going to try again here to get to Battleground and is going to vie for this Cobalt Translator. Yeah, Screw Attack actually makes a lot of sense in hindsight, because the Warrior Ing have like, what, 200-ish HP, so a Screw Attack would only need to connect for like 8 to 9 frames for it to be a KO.
Well, Miser's picked up his Spider Ball after doing a save warp to Great Temple. He's making a smart move. Now that he has it, he doesn't have to come back and try to get it. Now this begs the question, we have all of our translators available to us. Except we don't have our light beam.
Yeah, Light Beam right now is a really big handicap for us getting into another area. Now that being said, it looks like Macier literally just detoured quickly to grab Spider Ball. I don't foresee him doing anything else here at the moment.
If I had to take a guess, I would agree with Chad on this one. Try to grab the head back to compound, grab your Jump Guardian item, and maybe make your way towards. Could do some Torvus nonsense. Get Lagoon with air underwater.
The problem with going to Torvus right now from GFMC is that you do have to go all the way around because of the crystal switch in front of the Wind Chamber gate door on Path of Ice side.
Oh, that's fair. So we could also instead head towards Pirate Labs. Granted, we don't have our light beam, but that shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah, there's still a few items in logic already with just this equipment alone. With Screw Attack, Storage C is put into play with super missiles. And I got a little bit sandwiched there, but nothing a power bomb can't fix.
Well, our runners have a lot of options open up to them, Captain. It'll be interesting to see which routes they choose in the upcoming future.
Indeed. We're going to see Macier make that trip over to the Aegon Energy Controller. Every chance this could be the last Aegon key, although with Dark Beam in tow and Screw Attack, we may see a NSJ Mining Station B, or not NSJ, rather, a Secretless Mining Station B. And the Dark World will definitely no longer be scarier if you take this path, as you will find a Dark Suit in Mineshaft.
Dark Suit locked behind Dark Beam? Hell, I'll take it.
That sounds about right. And indeed, we are going to see a Secretless Mining Station B attempt here.
In my opinion, this is one of the more trickier Screw Attack locks to try to break open. Because you just have all this awkward geometry to try to mess with your Screw Attack.
Yeah, it's the awkward geometry and trying to hit... yeah, no, that pretty much goes into what you were saying anyway. Yeah, it's the awkward geometry, especially on the top right. If it knocks you to the left, it won't... if it knocks you to the left, one of the switches can't be hit. But it looks like Macier is giving up on it, not going to attempt for extra drops off of the pill bugs here.
Well, we gotta give Macier some credit. He gave it he gave it his best shot. He was close. He tried it.
Indeed. Yeah, at this point, only the Mining Station B item and the hint would have been available. Mining Station B, you don't need Boost Ball for. You can reach it with a Screw Attack and a multi-BSJ. But you would be leaving behind Storage A until later, which, given the way this seed is going, calling it now, because that's my thing this year. It's probably a Sky Temple key. And Quadraxis is dead, and we find unlimited missiles right after missile launcher. So Macier is not concerned about that one bit.
Oh, having the ability to fire all those super missiles with no repercussions. I mean, he's got to be feeling pretty happy right now.
Indeed, like that alone would actually make a Morbus with supers only rather helpful. And Macier voicing displeasure about the lack of missiles up to that point with a power bomb. Alternatively, forcing priority drops for power bombs as well off the Shriek Bats. That's actually pretty heads up. But yeah, so far hints today not really doing us that many favors besides telling us Quad is dead and water is wet. Yeah, because
well, no, you're fine. Just had a cough.
Okay. But yeah, Quad unfortunately has been notoriously absent in the weekly races. I thought for a second that, from what I saw, that it was secret missiles in Aegon Energy Controller, and I would have said, and Macier finds an insult.
Finds an insult. That's not a very nice way to put things, Captain.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the game just has a cruel sense of humor. You spend all that time doing Seekerless Mineshaft, and you end up getting Seekers minutes later.
Well, speaking about Seekerless Mineshaft, we have looks like Nail's going to be attempting this now. And with unlimited missiles on his side, he's got all the time in the world.
Indeed, that is a big advantage on that side. Now, with Dark Beam in tow, we can also route in storage B and D here in Labs. So, can we have this last Aegon key, please? Because it's not in storage B.
Well, Captain, I think since you asked the game so nicely, you're bound to find it.
All right, now storage, bioenergy production and storage C, both in play coming up here for Macier. We'll see how this plays out.
Oh, and Nail pulled off the Seekerless Mineshaft. Only took him about, what, 5-6 tries on that?
Not too bad. And what is up there? That is another ball upgrade, and it is boost.
Oh, that's a powerful upgrade to have early. Let's just get into, what's the room I'm trying to think of? Sand processing. I'll just get that without any issues.
Indeed. That's actually a big deal for Knight, because if that was Cannonball and Mining Plaza, then Macier does not know that. Ooh, and looks like our light suit is in Dark Aegon somewhere.
And on that note, our Dark Aegon key has just been found in storage C off of bioenergy by Macier, followed in tow by the light beam.
All right, so this seed's really starting to come to life here. We've got a lot of options on the table. We have, with that boost ball find, that gives nice Sank access. Well, the light beam find gives Macier Sank access from the temple side as well. With Spider Ball, no problem getting to the Sand Canyon door. And we're going to see some more advanced trickery here in security ventilation area B, rather, excuse me.
You know, I never thought about going out of bounds to break off the electrical gates. That's very helpful.
Yeah, that was a trick I was learning in the learning for the 2022 tournament, but I didn't quite get a chance at perfecting it in time.
Well, hey, you still tried. You know, you got to give yourself credit for that.
Indeed.
All right, so let's take a look at our current standings. We're 37 minutes in. We have a dark beam, our light beam, dark suit. Nail's got his boost ball. Oh, we've got a lot of options open up to us today.
Yeah, and actually the fact that... So, Mining Plaza has effectively been rendered mostly dead, and I say that because the only thing that could be in Mining Plaza that would be of extreme use at this point is Gravity, which I don't think that was what was in Mining Plaza. I don't think it was that big of an item, because if it was, the item would have... Oh, hi, Seeker Missiles.
Yeah, so you were mentioning that earlier.
Yeah, I would still call that pretty insulting. Also, the lack of boost ball doesn't appear to be an issue for Macier, as has just done sand processing with the BSJ screw attack method.
Oh, I got a first try. You know, it was great work. And I see chat's pointing out my my reading error. It's not nail, it's nigh. I obviously don't have my glasses with me today.
Oh, hi, Annihilator Beam. Nice to see you here. Okay, so we have now suddenly gone from nothing, no, not even missile launcher along with super missiles, to all beams and a dark suit. Missile upgrade in Dark Oasis, and we have secret missiles on top of that. So this seed kind of suddenly just kicked into overdrive here, chat. We have Sky Temple grounds access.
All right, I'm going to try to make a call here now. Lower Torvis, I don't think we're going to see anything on that.
Except maybe a Sky Temple key. Unfortunately, this has been kind of common in weeklies lately, where Aegon has everything and Torvis is just loaded with Sky Temple keys.
Oh, so that puts into question, what do our runners go for? Do they go for the progressive suit that they know is in Dark Aegon? Do they start making some checks over in Sanctuary Spider's side?
Well,
or Mazer could just find his light suit right there.
Well, at least for this, if nothing else, it actually routes very conveniently because it does open up Feeding Pit.
Why is it the second I try mentioning something, it happens?
Welcome to my world, my friend.
Hey, you're the one who chooses to do this for a living. I can't
That's
comment
fair.
on any of that.
All right. Well, luckily, missile expansions are now irrelevant, courtesy of unlimited missiles.
Well, at this point, we do have all three of our Dark Aegon keys. This begs the question. Do we go check Worms and hope it has something good for us? Or do we leave him alone in his chambers?
Yeah, I think the way this seed is going, I think you hold off on that, and I'll tell you why. At this point, we can read all of the remaining hints. So, because Boost Ball just got put into logic courtesy of the secret missiles in Central Mining Station. So, you now have all ball abilities, Seekers and Supers, all beams, and Light Suit. The only thing that is really going to get in your way are visors. Gravity, you can kind of skate around unless Transit Tunnel East is required. So the way I see it, I think at this point, after you finish your sweeps here, you prioritize going for Sky Temple key hints, because there is every chance you're already in go mode in this scenario.
Well, that makes the most sense. I can't argue with that train of logic, Captain.
Mace, you're making sure to make a very nice strafe left before screw attacking here, because that tiny pipe on the right has a ginormous hitbox, and I swear it has disrupted my screw attack multiple times. No, that's not personal experience kicking in.
Are you sure? It sort of sounds like it is. You don't have any personal vendetta against that room, Captain?
No, my personal vendetta this day is against Torvis Plaza and the one sporb in there that keeps knocking you off the spider track.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about. That's why I decide, anytime we go into that room, wait for that sporb to grab you and just power bomb him. I don't even deal with that sporb.
All right, and it looks like Mace here is electing to stay to bust out of Aegon here and go pick up that last pick up our Sky Temple key hints. Is only doing so without Boost Ball, but with Light Suit in tow, this is really not a threatening run. Unfortunately, Nye did trigger the pirate fight, and also I don't think was too happy about Light Beam being where it was.
No, I don't expect him to be happy at all. You spent all that time searching around for it, only to find it's in right in the open in bioenergy. It's not the best location for it to be in, but it's out of the way for any light beam related check.
Yeah, I think what else kind of puts Mining Plaza off the table for now is no sign of Echo Visor. And I think if that was gravity or required gravity in Mining Plaza, and given how the game tends to front load all the Amorbis and Mining Plaza required items early, we're probably not going to see Amorbis. I have no idea what that is, but it's probably a Dark Beam ammo tank or Dark Burst.
No, I couldn't get a good look at it.
Yeah, Nye also demonstrating that the Metroid's greatest weakness anywhere outside of the 2D games, doors.
Who knew moving from one room to the other could be such a hassle?
But yeah, it looks like Messier is going to... I'm surprised that he's going straight through... going through landing site here. I would have expected to... oh, you know why? It's because he wanted to make a quick pit stop at Plane of Dark Warship first. So actually, this makes a lot of sense.
Indeed. Plus, he's also going to get the hint from landing site, letting him know that the cache contains a beam-related upgrade. But knowing that, we already have all of them that we need for usefulness.
Yeah, the only other beam-related upgrade that we would like to see at this point is, good grief, unlimited beam ammo.
Oh, no, that is always helpful to have. I just spam fire your Annihilator beam everywhere, just send out a ton of dark bursts, maybe a couple sunbursts, get the bosses taken down easier.
All right, so Messier's not going for the hints here, and that to me suggests that the plan here is to save scum the... Oh, maybe not.
What do we have on the hints? What do we have today? The keys for Dark Temple are in Dark Torvus, and, oh, Captain, what was that second half of the hint?
That second half said Torvus, so the keys are very localized for Chica today.
Now, do you think we're going to see a Chica play here, or do you think Chica's got something important for us?
That's a very good question. I would say, given that the Torvus keys are clustered, I would put that at 50-50. Because we have seen many times Randomania throw us all the keys, but end up giving Amorbis a missile tank. So it is entirely... It could be either or, honestly.
If you had to take a bet, what would be one item you'd love to see Chica have hiding today?
Well, it's not secret missiles, and we've seen Chica hold those a couple times. Let me think. And that was, I think, a cheeseburger in War Ritual Grounds, so unfortunately that means we are not necessarily looking for Dark Visor yet. Messier wasting absolutely no time getting Seekerless Sky Temple Gate here.
He did an amazing job on the first try.
All right, folks, notepads out. Time to find out how much we still have left to do here, especially since we haven't even seen a Sky Temple key before now. Let's see. Transit station. That's free.
Correction, we know one is on Grand Wind Chamber.
Sank
entrance.
I mean, honestly, that's not the worst one in the universe. Hazen Cliff. That's free. Torvus Temple access, that's free. Joke hint in whatever it's called. Sand Canyon, that's free. Joke hint in Meeting Grounds. Reactor Core, that's free.
Jeez, are all our keys free today?
Grand Wind Chamber we know already.
Still technically free.
Path of Roots, that's free. Underground Tunnel, yeah, that is Cetus Freest, folks.
Wow. they're both in go mode then.
Yeah.
There's nothing they really need to get any of those keys. They have all the translators.
Yeah, visors are not required, and we have a race. Although Nye does have a bit of a speed boost right now, courtesy of Boost Ball. So we'll see if... okay, Macier's going to take an intentional death warp here.
I'm going to agree with Chad on this, Captain. As you always say, there's always progression in Underground Tunnel.
Indeed. So yeah, Morbus was a big fat bait today.
Oh, I'm incorrect on my previous statement about go mode. Chad's pointing out something really useful.
That's true.
Macier doesn't have his boost ball.
That being said, though, he now has unlimited missiles, and I don't think, well, is probably going to finish up the labs loop, discover secret missiles, and that would probably force him back to mining state, not force per se, but convince a trip back to mining station B, at which point he can retrieve boost ball. Because right now, in Macier's mind, the only other ball upgrade is possibly in Mining Plaza.
Well, speaking of which, Macier's already in Aegon Waves, heading towards Sand Canyon for the other key. If he take... Oh, nope, I'm incorrect. He's on the other side of Sand Canyon, heading for Sank Spider side. So if he comes back through that same elevator, goes through Sand Canyon, grab the second Sky Temple key, does the loop back through Mining Station, hopefully goes towards Labs, he could be in a very small loop to grab his boost ball.
Indeed. The only downside is if, because of this equipment, Macier can very much just go ahead and almost full clear Sank, and, you know, Echo and boost checks aside. The downside to that is Seekers and Supers can be in a lot of spots in Sank. Supers especially, because there's no super locks, but Macier can very well happen across, in his mind, happen across Seekers here. So we'll see how far he chooses to take this path, or if he just dips out after Spider's treasure.
Well, place your bets now, chat. Let's see what happens.
But yeah, pretty much as expected. Aegon had everything, and Torvis and Sank are just loaded with Sky Temple keys.
You know, one of these seeds, we're gonna find someone having some sort of progression in Lower Torvis. It's just not gonna be this week.
Yeah, I mean, for one of my seeds, this is extremely tame.
Something tells me next week's gonna be a lot rougher, Captain. The calm before the storm.
That unfortunately, that does tend to be the case with my seeds. They're either some of the gentlest giants out there, or some of the worst experiences you've had in your life, and no in between. Although we did have a mild troll chain for bombs and missile launcher earlier.
That's true. Yeah, ton of backtracking just to get your bombs.
I think Macier was going for the secret world here. Because yeah, with this room, it's just literally morph at a specific location, and welcome to the out of bounds land. Now I doubt Macier is going to take this all the way to Sank entrance. I don't think that's going to be any good. This is more likely to make the way to Cat West and Transit Station, because that's where the important stuff is. Because, yeah, there's actually nothing of extreme value on Spider-Side Sank.
Meanwhile, Nate's making his way through Taurus Lagoon, finding a beam-related upgrade in Poison Bog. Well, we know that's not going to be any use for us at the moment.
I'm actually kind of surprised I scanned that, given the circumstances, because there really is no... There's the Secret Missile hint. Thanks, game, in Torvis Lagoon. That actually would be a great hint for Macier. Okay, so the hint's actually kind of bouncing back at the last second here.
Yeah, the seed's picking up from the start. You had very slow, tiresome backtracking progression. And then all of a sudden, the next room over, you have Aegon fully loaded with everything that you could possibly ask for.
That sums it up.
Well, that was the intention.
But yeah, I would have been surprised if Macier tried to. Actually, you would still need boost for Sank entrance even if you could out of bounds it, because you can't get across the spider tracks on the far side without boosting. You can, however, do it without bombs.
Really?
Yes, you can very much have bombs in Sank entrance.
Well, that sounds like a very disgusting type of seed.
Although, I'll do you one better. We had a even weekly a long time ago. I want to say it was July 2021. We had bombs in aerial training site. In an even weekly.
Were you the one who gen that?
I honestly don't remember.
That sounds like something you would generate, Captain.
It is absolutely something I would gen. Oops, it looks like Macier's Spider Ball didn't trigger properly there.
He almost had it, though. Well, he landed the bomb jump just fine. And a little low with the screw attack. Third time's a charm? Third time's a charm. He grabs key number 4.
Yeah, right as Nye grabs key number 4. So I think with Boost Ball and Seekers in tow, Nye kind of takes a lead here.
Well, yeah, I'm incorrect. It's key number 3. Macier never grabbed that Wind Chamber gate. A Grand Wind Chamber.
Yeah, that is gonna be one of the, well, not one of the slower keys to pick up per se, but it is gonna be a walk to pick it up right now. Although, and unfortunately, Macier never opened up the crystal switch to Wind Chamber Gate, so that would be a really good highway back to Sky Temple Gate after Wind Chamber. So, I'm trying to think about how Nye's gonna finish routing this, because I believe this is gonna be an air underwater for getting to Training Chamber. Whoops. A bridge too small. No, yes, I know that's not how the line goes, but oh well.
I don't think anyone's going to mind just a little bit of wordplay here and there.
But yeah, no, this seed was very, very straightforward. It was just literally get everything in Aegon, go have fun finding all of your Sky Temple keys.
Thankfully, all of our keys are in relatively easy access locations.
Indeed. And it looks like Nye's going to go ahead and, thanks to unlimited missiles, this door is absolutely not an issue whatsoever. But Macier's going back for the Sand Canyon key, and this looks like to be another attempt at Seekerless. Hopefully will be another attempt at Seekerless Mining Station. Excuse me?
Death plane?
Nice terminal fall plane. That's never happened before.
Split second, I thought we had some technical difficulties on Macier's side.
All right, and Nye is, I think, pretty much done with Torvis here, so yeah, is just able to bulldoze straight into Sank from here. Because, yeah, Nye's remaining keys are Hazen Cliff, Transit Station, Sand Canyon. Trying to think of what the other two were. Reactor Core and did not get Torvis Temple access? I would assume so on the way to Underground Tunnel. Oh, Sank entrance. Okay, so yeah, that's the 5. Oh, and Macier's deciding to do a different boostless strat and go for Seekerless Torvis access. Gets it first try. Well done.
Although we still don't have a boost ball on Macier's side.
Yeah, that actually is going to be a big problem for Macier in a couple of minutes here. I think this is probably, unfortunately, at this point, going to spell his doom for the race, or for this restream race.
If I had to take a guess what's going through his head, he has no idea where boost ball is. He's trying to think of all the logical places where it could be that would help him out in the best possible way.
Either that, or he thinks it is boost ball in Mining Plaza, not knowing that it's Cannonball, and is trying to find Echo Visor.
Unfortunately, both Cannonball and Boost Ball share the same model. So if that's his thought process, this is going to, like you said, Captain, this could be nearing the finish line.
Oh yeah, word of advice as well, as Nye just demonstrated, there's a repulsion effect there. Don't go through that gyro without Cannonball. With Cannonball in tow, rather, because with Cannonball, there is a chance that you will just fall straight out of bounds and there is no terminal fall plane.
The more you know. Rather save yourself the headaches than I did the first pass through that.
Not quite enough height there on the slope jump from Macier.
Yeah, he'll get it second try, though.
Likes to improvise with the BSJ up to the abandoned worksite door.
Oh, nice coming over to Hazing Cliff. Gonna grab Sky Temple key number 1. Great position. He's already got 7 out of the 9 keys.
Now, Macier is actually skipping the Path of Roots hint, interestingly, which is a bit of a problem because that is going to inform him where Seeker missiles are, unless he read it while I wasn't looking. There is, I believe that was one of the Torvis keys in Torvis Lagoon.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get a look if he got the hint or not. If he's skipping it, like you said, that's a Seeker launcher. That would give him a much needed direction of advice for him to head towards.
Ah, yes, the good old explodey plant greeting you at the save station door.
You didn't need all of your health now, did you?
Well, thankfully, those guys don't do as much damage as, like, say, a Phazon canister. Okay, and I just had a little bit of an emulator hiccup, but everything's fine. I think that was an emulator hiccup. And chat confirms Macier did not scan the Path of Roots hint.
Well, with that being said, what is hiding behind Seeker missiles that would benefit Macier for his remaining keys?
Sadly, really nothing else, because the only thing that is stopping Macier right now is Boost Ball.
So we don't need Seeker Launcher at all then for Macier to continue. But with Boost Ball being in, what is that, Mining Station B?
Mm-hmm.
So it's, in order for him to get his Boost Ball, he needs to pull off the Mining Shaft Seekerless trick. Or he needs to go find his Seeker Launcher and make his way back to Mining Station.
Yeah,
So
sadly, there really is no other option here. I don't think there might be some sort of super complex out of bounds that I don't know about that can get this without Boost Ball, but I doubt it. Because you need Boost Ball just to get the door down for Sank entrance. So
yeah, if you're coming in through the elevator, at least, you could you go out of bounds, back entrance through it?
If you could, I don't know how, but Macier gets the screw attack for... Oh, that Flying Pirate definitely just tried. But Macier gets the Sky Temple key.
Hey, a true warrior always goes down in battle. They never back down. Unfortunately, that Space Pirate figured that out the hard way.
See you in Stovacor. Wait, wrong series. Sorry, that's another Star Trek joke for you.
Hey, we're close enough. We're in space.
That's true.
We're on a distant, unfamiliar planet.
All right, Macier's checking Fortress transport access here, and that yields us more missiles that we don't need. Yeah, Macier knows. It's like, yep, I really want that boost ball right now.
But where could it be? Question mark.
Now, Nye's missing key at this point is Nye's missing key is Sank entrance. So the way that Nye's going to have to go about this, unfortunately, I don't think, yeah, because Nye went to. Actually, did Nye go through Torvus entrance? Because if Nye went through, yeah, Nye went through Torvus entrance, I think. So
Yeah.
I would wager has thrown down the crystal switch in front of Windchamber Gate. So after getting the Sank entrance, he can just go back through GFMC and go through Windchamber to get to Sky Temple Gate that way. So that's Nye's route pretty well defined here. So Nye should be finishing this seed up fairly shortly. This will be an easy sub 90.
Unfortunately, the only problem is Macier is still unfamiliar where his boost ball is, or he knows, or he thinks he knows where it is, and is trying to find his Echo Visor so he can go fight Worm, and then unlock it over in Central Mining. Or is that not Central Mining? That's Mining
Station B.
Mining Station. Yeah, but what's the, you said Cannonball is off of Mining.
Oh,
Central
Cannonball's Mining Plaza, excuse me.
Plaza, that's the one I keep forgetting. I know the room, just don't know the name.
It looks like Macier is going back to Aegon, which is the right direction for Seeker Missiles, so we'll see how this plays out, because Macier is also missing the Sank entrance key. That's all that's left.
Nice showing those turrets who's boss, 2 super missiles. Now, who needs security defense turrets when you have a big old missile?
Yeah. Although one well-placed super missile in the center of those 2 turrets can actually knock them both out.
Huh, that's something I did not know.
Yeah. A dart beam shot in a similar spot can at least disable them both.
Yeah, but with Nye having unlimited missiles, I mean, use the super missiles while you have them. It's always a nice time.
Alright, so where's Macier going? Is this towards labs? Yeah, this is towards labs.
Nope,
And
he's
back
going.
into Sank.
Oh, jeez. Macier, go back through Aegon, my friend.
Interestingly, Macier has also didn't bother reading the Cobalt hints around Sank on the pass before, so I'm very curious as to why Macier has been avoiding hints this seed. Because there's every chance one of those hints points towards Boost Ball.
That's a fair thought. We've yet to see one that does point towards it. But like I said earlier, we do have that Seeker Missile hint. But that hint was over back in Path of Roots.
And we're going to see.
Begs the question, what is Macier's thought process?
And once again is passing up the Cobalt hint in Hall of Combat Mastery.
Did Macier already go to Cat West and grab Reactor Core and all them?
Yes.
He did.
The only
Okay.
key Macier is missing is Sank entrance.
Alright. Well, speaking of Sank entrance, looks like Nye just picked up that key. He's making his beeline towards Sky Temple.
But yeah, aside from that mild backtrack chain for bombs, which was pretty well spelt out anyway, if you were following the logic, not a particularly atrocious seed, especially if you didn't go for a Morbus, get baited into a Morbus right away.
Well, with that being said, I don't think any of our bosses were really required.
Yeah, they were all big fat bait today. And yeah, we had access to a Morbus for a long time, so... Because, yeah, where was the last key? Storage C. So, yeah, that wasn't a particularly difficult series to get with early screw attacks, so...
It really did lead you to believe that a Morbus had something. If your last key's hiding right there in A-Gun, you have easy access with your super missiles to cut through Battleground and Warrior's Walk. The logical progression alone pointed towards it, but we know we had nothing from the looks of it. At least nothing of useful. Oh no, is Mazier going towards Spider Guardian? Is towards Dynamo? Is that what it looks like?
Mazier might actually be trying to... Well, no, this... Yeah, because this can't be Boost Ball.
Well, no, because you need Boost Ball to fight Spider Guardian alone.
Unless Mazier is going to try and get out of bounds here and get Cannonball.
Now, Captain, what good would Cannonball do him in this current situation?
Well, what it would do, if Mazier can preserve it with a save warp, for example, that would send Mazier all the way back around, give Mazier the ability to go back around for Sank entrance.
That could be his option right now if he's... That's what he's thinking. He doesn't know where Boost Ball is, but he knows he can get Cannonball. So he knows he has a mock Boost Ball to use.
Exactly. So, because how runners normally get Cannonball, since Cannonball is not normally a physical item in the game, is that normally the game just gives you Cannonball when you're shot out of a Morph Ball cannon, but takes it away from you when you hit some collision. However, in order to... Oh, I see what Mazier's doing here.
I'm glad you see it because I'm completely lost.
Mazier's trying to step on a worker drone in the area, but has to see where it is by looking over the ledge first. And then time a E-dash correctly.
Oh, this seems like a very, very risky strat if that worker drone's in the wrong position.
Well, the nice thing is the worker drone reloads every time you take a terminal fall, so...
Oh, that's good.
I think Mazier wanted to stand on that satellite, but it didn't quite go through as envisioned. So Mazier may improvise with the Secret World and Sank Energy Controller.
With that being said, we're at 1 hour, 11 minutes. I need my glasses. And nice entering the Sky Temple.
And there's your Secret World for Sank Energy. And yeah, just like that, you can nice and easily walk your way around to Worker's Path and get Cannonball this way. So what Mazier has to now do is load Worker's Path, but make sure Sank Temple is still considered the main room. That will allow him to fire the Morph Ball cannon and not hit collision in Worker's Path without hitting collision.
Well, that's a very smart strategy for him to be using, since he has no idea where anything could be at the moment, or he knows where it is and can't get to it.
Yeah, this is as I say in my stream often, it's the way I say is this is the part where we improvise, chat, and that's exactly what Mazier is doing. Unfortunately, it would appear to have gotten stuck.
Oh dear.
Okay, was able to wriggle out of it.
Yeah, I'm going to give Mazier a lot of credit. You know, he's not giving up. He's going to keep on pushing, fighting through this race. Even though he's experienced a few roadblocks, he's making plan after plan after plan. You know, it really shows his dedication. And on the other half of today's stream, we have Nye working his way through Emperor Ing. Looks like Phase 1 is going relatively well.
Looks like didn't quite get the one cycle, but on the flip side, Mazier does now have Cannonball and is going to be trying to find a way how to get out of it, how to get out of Sank Temple with it. Could go through the Sentinel's Path side, or could do the BSJ Screw Attack up. Oh, looks like it's just going to go up and walk around to Sentinel's Path. Alternatively, you know, ceiling warp.
Well, with Sanctuary Temple having such a high ceiling, it's always very useful.
Not even a ceiling warp, I think. That's just flat out morph balling through this, because there's no actual ceiling. You just fall immediately when you. What my Macier was walking on was the top of the gravity box. Because every room is in a box in this game. Unlike the remaster, unlike Prime 1 Remaster, apparently.
Yeah, they're putting us speedrunners at a little bit of a disadvantage. We can't do our either jumps or out of bounds that easily.
All right, in the meantime, Nye getting a partial screw on Emperor Ring there. Looks like hit the ground, and that is a action that I experience all too many times. But gets a good jump on the third screw, so not too bad of an Emperor Ring 3 for Nye.
Oh, that was amazing. Alright, Macier finding a safe station. He's save warping over towards Great Temple now. Well, overall, this seat has been generally very generous to us.
Indeed, yeah. Aside from having to backtrack a little for bombs, this seed was very straightforward.
I'm not going to complain when Aegon has a lot of my upgrades.
Yeah, assuming you just committed to Aegon, you were pretty much golden. Unfortunately, I think Nye just fired 26 Annihilator shots and is going to get centered immediately.
Oh no, one too many. Well, Macier using his cannonball to good work for that mocked boost ball, speeding through communications area.
Yeah, so Macier should be done with this seed in about 15-ish minutes, maybe a little less, after Sank entrance.
Well, that begs the question, did Macier remove the crystal block, blocking, what is it, Path of Eyes?
I don't think so, because Macier got into Torvis via the Aegon elevator.
He's going to have a long walk ahead of him, returning.
Yeah, Nye also save warped out of Sank. Nye also went back to Great Temple, rather, and went around to Torvis Quadrant that way. So maybe he didn't throw the crystal switch. That being said, Dark Samus 4 has been actually incredibly cooperative with him. All right, there's going to be one more shot required. Oh, never mind. 9 gets it. Must have been a perfect frame, perfect damage value. That is going to do it for Nye the Baff, who finishes in first place with a race time GG time of 1:17.25, and that is going to be good for first place in this race, beating out Baja Blood by a measly 33 seconds to take the win.
Oh, that is a tight window. That was amazing work to everyone.
Naya's got to be feeling very good about that, but we will definitely try and get him in the booth for this interview, because that was a fantastic finish.
I completely agree. Yeah, he did amazing with the Emperor Ring phases. Phase 3 was simply divine. 3 screw attacks when he's down. Plus the Dark Samus 4 fight being generous with the shots today.
Yeah, I would say Macier definitely had the advantage on movement and trick knowledge, especially with the seekerless locks that he did do, as well as getting Cannonball as a backup. But Nye routing and boost ball definitely gave the edge for this race.
I can agree with that. If Macier had continued with the Seekerless mineshaft, that would have put him a little bit ahead. Then he would have found his boost ball and continued a different route, possibly.
Indeed. Also, many questions that we will surely have answers to for this interview.
Oops. I see a question in chat asking where Lightbeam was. Well, to answer that question, Lightbeam was hiding off of bioenergy production. Just sitting out there in the open. Speaking of interviews, welcome, Nye.
GG, congratulations.
Thanks. Oh, God.
So, this was a very interesting seed. For the most part, besides the backtrack for bombs, it was actually probably one of the more relaxing seeds, which is something considering the stuff I normally generate. But what gave you the big advantage over Macier is that you did the Seekerless in Mineshaft to get to Mining Station B, and that gave you Boost Ball.
Wait, did Master not do that?
Macier tried, but did not have unlimited missiles at the time, and ran out after the first test. After emptying his ammo.
Oh no! And unlimited missiles were right there too.
Mm-hmm. He also did not go through all of labs. Pretty much just got light beam in the sky and the Aegon key, and then dipped without picking up seeker missiles.
Oh. It doesn't have that either.
And for whatever reason, Macier was avoiding the hints a lot, which included the Path of Roots one that would have pointed to seeker missiles.
Oh no.
So we're not quite sure what was going on there, but Macier did improvise by getting Cannonball in Worker's Path, so he has picked up the last Sky Temple key, and he's now walking around Temple Grounds to Sky Temple Gate now.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so Macier did have sort of the knowledge and execution advantage, but your routing for Mining Station B definitely gave you the leg up for this race, big time. And it shows you won over Baja by 33 seconds, and that's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, especially having shot the S3 too many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I blanked on the number of annihilator shots, and I'm like, it's 25, maybe? No, 26? And yeah, no, it was 25.
So we're going to see in your credits for a second what actually was in Mining Plaza, because we were sure that it was either a movement system or... It was an ETM. Oh.
That was an ETM.
Oh. That makes sense.
All right, Dark
Visor
Visor
had
was...
no animation.
Dark Visor was on Boost Guardian. Echo Visor was in Storage A. Interesting. Cannonball was in Great Bridge. Gravity was in Venomous Pond. So those are all pretty free today. Wow.
Oh, Great Bridge Cannonball. Huh. I was considering checking that because what I wanted to do was see if I couldn't find Dark Visor, because that means I could have entered Stank from the front and gotten everything instead of going through Lower Tortoise.
Yeah, from where we were sitting, we thought the item in Mining Plaza was Boost Ball. And because the game did front-load the Aegon keys, we thought, yeah, this is a Mining Plaza. But luckily, very much not the case.
I will say your Torvis keys were in horrible locations, having one on Under Temple.
There wasn't any in Under Temple. The Torvis keys were in
Just where I saw one.
Underground Tunnel and Torvis Temple access, I think, and Path of Roots. Yeah, the Torvis keys were actually really nice. The key that was trolling everybody was Sank Entrance.
I'm sure.
The Dark Torvis Temple keys. Not
Oh yeah, I only remember those were in Dark Tortoise and Tortoise.
Yeah, the Dark Torvis Under Temple key. Okay, that's what you meant. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
that makes sense.
I might as well ask a generic question. How do you feel overall that everything went today?
I'm not used to being able to win a race, and much less such get seed like this one.
Well, Mazer pulled out the Seekerless entrance. Yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, that was a very difficult one. It's
Yeah,
faster to do Seekerless, but it's much harder.
indeed. Typically, I will do the out of bounds for it. That's something Cestrion trained me on.
Yeah. I was actually about to skip Seekers, but I've long since learned that you should look at things closer. Because I want, like, I have supers, I have missiles, I have amber. What else is orange? I just decided to check it and I'm like, oh, right, Seekers.
Yeah, yeah. Secret missiles were certainly the bane of my last even weekly 2 weeks ago because seekers were needed for a curse. I'm sorry, did I cut out for a second?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, that was my internet throwing a mild hissy fit. I was saying seekers were the bane of my last even weekly because they were needed for a cursed lake. I couldn't find them, and it was the only key keeping me from go mode at the time. Was reading hints, and I was so angry that they were just in Aegon again.
Yeah, having to backtrack for stuff in Aegon is really bad because you usually don't live a lot.
Oh, nice
Like-
first cycle
like-
for that Emperor ring with Mazer's side.
5 checks in Aegon that you normally don't get on your first trip.
Indeed, and with Cannonball in tow, Macier is also not going to have any trouble with the Sempering too. That was a really good first screw as well.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
Except now Emperring is being a little rude.
How would you feel if someone came up and just started shattering your kneecaps?
Indeed.
I mean, you technically shouldn't kill it on that first screw attack because otherwise your game will crash.
Mm-hmm.
Having your game crash an hour and a half in at the last boss, you do not want that to happen. With an hour 25 on the clock, Macer's making his way down to Dark Samus to have the final showdown once and for all. Until Prime 3 comes along.
Alright, Macier gets a bonk on the first hit, and it looks like Dark Samus is throwing up her shield, so... Yeah, sometimes Dark Samus will just take the hit, not throw up her shield, and go immediately into DS4. I can never figure out what makes it more consistent, although I do usually just test... Wow, that was a fast DS4 skip.
And that was amazing. 126.48.
Yeah, and that is actually going to close out the race as our off-stream runners, Cestron and Bellator, have also finished with a 119.32 and a 121.09. So, wow, very straightforward seed. Everybody getting sub-90s.
Well, as this race comes to a close, I'd like to thank Op82 again for doing an amazing job tracking, keeping a close eye on what items we have and don't have.
Indeed. Well, let's see if we can bring Macier in for an interview, because there are definitely some questions we have, mostly pertaining to the hints. But I can understand not going through with Mining Station B because of ammo issues at the time. To be fair, but I'm very curious about the decision to skip hints. But we shall see. I'm also noticing that about 6 minutes ago, Macier enters in the race time room chat boost ball.
Yeah. That was an interesting place to find. He was one room away from it. But overall, even though he didn't have his boost ball, it was a quick route for Macier. He did a great job recovering.
Indeed. All right, we have extended the invitation, so we'll wait a second to see what the response is. Although I imagine when Macier sees the credits, there is going to be an extreme feeling of annoyance.
Rightfully so.
And believe me, with Seekers being where they were 2 weeks ago, I know exactly how that feels. We are still waiting on a response, so we'll see.
Oh, in the meanwhile,
How strongly, at the time, Nye, with the 3 Aegon keys in tow, were you considering a Morbus for just the item?
About the time I saved literally right next to it. I was like, hold on. A Morbus is right there. I have all 3 keys. But I also have hint. Where do we go?
We were thinking the same thing along the same lines. That is ultimately what folks did, because at that point, at first, by the time we did get the Amorbus keys, we had no beams and super missiles, and that's about it. Which, granted, with unlimited missiles, would have been made for a relatively relaxing Amorbus fight. But you know, I'm just now noticing the game literally handed you Light Suit, and it wasn't even required.
It's logically required for final bosses on beginner settings.
Oh, that's true. But
yeah, it's not until intermediate you don't need the light suit.
That's true. But even still, the game just handed it to you.
Yeah.
Because where were the suits? They were in Mineshaft and Doomed Entry. So yeah, they were literally free today.
You don't see that often.
Nope, having your suit.
Now, light suit is a huge bait.
Not often that I say this, but nice to have, but not what we're looking for.
That is true. You know, my issue with light suit is that whenever it shows up early, it's either feeding pit or hide entrance.
Indeed. All right. So Macier has said that unfortunately he does not have the equipment to join us for an interview. So we'll be giving a pass on that. So with that said, folks, Nye, any further thoughts you have before we close out?
Not really, no.
All right, then. Well, with that said, Marion, you already had said earlier, shout outs to our tracker Op82 for doing a great job tracking for today. Always a pleasure having you folks volunteering to join us for these weeklies. We couldn't really do this without our amazing volunteers and the Speed Gaming crew.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. You know, it's all about having fun with this sort of thing. So it's a nice way to relax from the hard week.
Indeed. And our next weekly will be the odd weekly settings on April 15th. Same Speed Gaming time, not necessarily same Speed Gaming channel. But be sure to stay tuned to the schedule for that. And again, GG's to our runners, Nye and Macier, for, again, putting on a fantastic performance on what was a interesting, but for once in a while, not the most trash seed we've ever had here. So give them both a follow for sure, because they will put on more of these shows for you in future. With that said, anything else you want to add, Marion, before we wrap up?
No, I can't think of anything, my friend. You've pretty much said everything and anything. You know, it was a good time overall. I'm sure as long as everyone had fun, that's what matters in the end.
All right. With that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next mission. Take care.